So I know I look really weird right now because I don't have any eyebrows on, and usually when I film a video, I've already done my eyebrows just to get it out of the way because it takes such a real long time to get them to cooperate and look nice. So I know I've done an eyebrow video before on my channel, but it wasn't like an eyebrow routine. I was just doing a first impressions on the Benefit eyebrow products. It's still what I'm using till this day. It's my holy grail eyebrow line. I cannot live without anything from that line. I need like everything all the time stocked in my makeup collection. So yeah, whenever I even like think that I'm running out, I like go purchase it. So it's gonna be what I'm using today, and I decided to do an eyebrow routine because I've never done one. I got my eyebrows threaded yesterday, so they're all nice and clean, so easy to do an eyebrow routine for you guys. So I thought, what a better time. So I'm gonna show you the products that I use. So the first one I use is usually a lash comb. It doesn't matter what brand, but this is from Luxie. It's their 201, sorry. And I just like brush out my brow hairs, you know. And then for the eyebrow product, like the brush that I use, this is from MAC. It's like an angled brush. I'm not exactly sure what number because I've had this for so long, like a couple of years already, so the numbers rubbed off. And I did, yeah, I can't see it. I did buy a replacement of this, but I just love this one so much. I don't like that one as much, so I haven't even used it. But yeah, this is like my favorite eyebrow brush, so it's lasted a long time. This is like my 4th year of having this, I believe. I've had it for a long time. I like to conceal my brows to carve it out and make it even more precise and sharp and everything. This is the Morphe M432. This is just a flat shader brush to apply the concealer. I do have a MAC one of this too, but it's whatever that's clean and I have on hand. And the next thing to blend out the concealer I use is going to be a brush like this. It's like a fluffy, really loose brush, and it's just easy to blend out the harsh lines. Any brush that looks like this is what I'll be using. It doesn't even matter what brand, but this one is Tarte. It's from their holiday collection palette. So this is all up and personal. So let me just brush out my brows. I usually brush it up and then to the side. So just brushing everything in its place. Hope you can see. First thing that I like to use is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. It looks like this, and this is in number 4. That's shade number 4, and I usually use number 3, but I ran out of it, so I'm just using what I have. And what I usually do is I line the bottom of my brows. Like this. Sometimes I like to elongate it, the tail a little bit, because I feel like my brows are really like short. And then the next thing I would use is the Benefit Ka-Brow. This is in number 3. So everything else I use is in shade number 3 besides my Goof Proof, just because I want to use up what I have first. And then I'm going to take my angled brush, and this is the little pot it comes with. I know it comes with a little brush here as the top, but I don't like using that brush, so I don't ever use it. So I take a little bit of product and then I wipe it on a piece of like tissue and napkin to disperse the product, and then I can easily like spread it out and then apply it onto my brows. To do with my dip brow as well from Anastasia, but I found that I like this more than a dip brow. So basically the product, and I just swipe it back and forth to make sure that the brush is saturated with brow product. What I do next is I go over that line . And then after I go over that line, I like to brush up with the brush. And I go really lightly where the front of the brow is, because I don't want it too harsh, because I don't want it to look too cartoony. And then I brush back. So I brush up, and then I brush back. I start lining the top of my eyebrows. Carving it out, sorry. So I start carving it out. I just follow the natural shape of my brows, so I don't make it even more carved than it is, and then I fill in the extra spaces. So, like that. And then, once I'm done with this, I take a little bit of concealer. This is the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer in Custard. And then I take my flat shader brush. I take some product onto there. start carving my brows out. So I start in the middle, and then I move to the front. Basically lining the whole thing with concealer and doing the same for the top. I know people don't usually do the top of the eyebrow as well, but I've always done it and I just like how it looks. I like that my eyebrows are really carved out, but it's like a personal preference. So if you don't feel like you need to carve out the top of your eyebrows, then don't do it. Like I said, personal preference. And then I blend out the concealer. And there you go. So this is filled in eyebrow and this is my bare eyebrow. And then when you're done, you also want to brush it through a little. So sometimes on camera it looks like I have places that I haven't filled in the brows. And I'll show you in a little bit what I do. So I take my Brow Zing from Benefit. And this is the first brow product I've ever used when I started doing my brows. And I take the powder side with the same brow brush, and then I just brush it through wherever it needs to be filled, and then I take the gel, or is it a gel? Sorry, the wax, and then I brush it through a little bit again. I'll show you when I do that, but I'm going to do the other side to show you once more what I do. So, this is the Goof Proof in shade number 4. I'm going to line and usually for my left eyebrow, it's a lot easier to line it because I feel like, I don't know. It's just a lot easier, and then it's a lot easier than my right. That's all I have to say. My right eyebrow is kind of annoying sometimes. And then I'm going to line it with my Ka-Brow, or line and then fill it in with my Ka-Brow in shade number 3. So it looks like this. I have like a line right there, and then I'm going to line it again, go over it with the Ka-Brow. I don't know why I do that, but I've done that with even with my dip brow when I used to use that. And I just brush up, and I go very light-handed with the front of my brows. My eyebrows make me really nervous, and I feel like I really need to concentrate, because if I mess up on my eyebrows, then like the whole day is canceled. Like I don't want to do anything else if it doesn't look nice. And then now I'm going to line the top. And then fill in. Oh, there you go. And it looks like my eyebrows are a little bit uneven, so we can fix that. And that's why I like to carve it out with concealer. I usually like do both my eyebrows first and then conceal, but like for the sake of the video, I would really want to show you. But we can always carve it out again. It doesn't really matter. So this is my Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer in Custard, and then my Morphe M432 flat shader brush. I feel like my left eyebrow is a little bit more naturally arched than my right. I don't know why. I feel like that's why it's easier to line the bottom of my brows on my left side. We all have that one eyebrow that looks better and is a lot more easier to fix and play around with than the other. So I'm going to line my right eyebrow again, just to, sometimes I do this to make sure everything's like connected and evened out. And then I just like connect it. Is that silly that I did? And then now I'm going to blend it out. Like I said, I connected. You don't have to do that, but I feel like it makes it more like the same. Like your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters, so it doesn't have to be exactly alike, but you know, you want them to look as the same as possible. So these are my brows. And then sometimes when they look a little too like squared out, I will just brush them out a little at the very front, because sometimes I can get carried away and you can make your eyebrows look really cartoony. Like when I first used Dip Brow, I totally made my eyebrows look cartoony and it was not cute. I thought it was, but definitely wasn't. And you don't want to make your eyebrows look too boxy too. That's what I used to do as well. It's not cute. So obviously with time you'll learn how to play and make your eyebrows fit and frame your face. I usually have really like thin bitchy brows, but now they're a little thicker than they were before. So yeah, just like to go back into places just to make it sharper. Like sometimes I might have over blended and then concealer might have gone to my brow, so I like to just make sure everything's okay. And then the next product sometimes that I use is going to be, let's see, this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil. And this one is a lot thinner. It's kind of like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. But what I do basically is if I see a very sparse area, I will just kind of go over it. And then like bring it out. I use a really light hand. I just want everything to be filled in. And then even after the Precisely My Brow and I still see some empty spaces and spots, I will go in with my Brow Zing. I don't use all of the Benefit eyebrow collection all at once, but the stuff that I use on the daily is going to be the Goof Proof Eyebrow Pencil, and then the Ka-Brow, which is what I use every single day, and then the Gimmie Brow. And I've used Gimmie Brow before when they first came out, and I love it. It's just like an eyebrow gel with a little bit of color in it. So this is how the eyebrows look, and I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to do the rest of my face makeup, and then I will show you guys how I finish off my brows. My face is done, so I look a little bit more normal since my eyebrows were just the only thing that I had on my face. So for the purpose of this brow routine video, I'm going to show you guys how I use the Brow Zings, just because sometimes I do tend to use it. It comes with a powder and then a wax. I'm going to take my eyebrow brush. First I'm going to take the powder. I'm just going to dip it in. And then I'm going to fill in any places that I think needs to be filled in. Really like small strokes. I don't want it to make it look too dark and too bold for my face. I don't know if you can even tell if it filled in. And then I usually just take the wax and I further fill it in, or just if I see hairs that are like a little wonky, I will fix it with the wax just because it helps stabilizes it in place. And then that is basically it, and then I'm going to fill in my, set my eyebrows with my Gimmie Brow. I always do this very last just because I use some loose powders like the RCMA No Color powder, and I don't want to have set my brows and then the powder is getting all over my brows and it's hard to come off. So usually I will just do this, brush it up. And then brush it down. If I want more of that bushy look, I will brush it up like this, just to make some of the hair stand. If not, I will comb it down. And since this also has a little bit of a shade too, it's nice because it will fill in the rest of whatever I've missed. That's the end of my eyebrow routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned some tips and tricks from my eyebrow routine and found this very helpful and informative. I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys!